Why, hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. This is a RiseToWar guide. They were put on the guide playlist. So today, I want to tell you a couple courtesies to all new players in this game. I know this is a phone game, but I still think these are some courtesies that can keep people from being grumpy at you, all right? Again, you know me here on the channel. I'm really positive. I enjoy this game a lot. I enjoy all Tolkien content. So if you're a Tolkien fan and you like Lord of the Rings video games of any kind, we play a lot of them on this channel. Baruch Kazak Huzarai menu. You should subscribe and join us. But here are my little recommendations to everybody, okay? So first one off is raid bosses. Do you guys know when you're fighting a raid boss? By the way, are there any raid bosses right now? That'd be very convenient because it is the weekend. Aha, there it is. Perfect. I didn't even think about this. So if you see right here, see how there's a top 5 ranking, okay? This is a courtesy thing. Again, you don't have to follow this. You don't have to follow any of this stuff I'm about to tell you. You do whatever you want. But this stuff will keep you happy with your neighbors, okay? Don't go, and if there's 5 people that have hit it with damage rankings and there's enough HP where you think you could pop the last person off, don't do that. Just don't. It's not cool. You see someone walking towards it and they're going to be there before you and they didn't start after you. Obviously, if you started before them traveling, then so be it. You're battling for that last spot, right? That's fine. But I'm saying, like, if someone, they have all 5 there and someone in that 5 is going to finish it off and you try to, like, charge in to beat that last person off who has a low number or something, that's really not very cool, okay? So try not to do that. Again, there are, no matter what, if you've done damage, it gives you some points towards your damage thing. But it still matters to be in that top 5 ranking because I believe that's what you get the rewards for with the box. Pretty sure that's the case. If that's not the case, tell me in the comments, guys. But I'm pretty sure that's how it's always worked unless it's been updated because that's how it used to work. So anyway, that's one thing. The second thing that I would highly recommend is don't take someone's tiles they're pathing for. For example, if you're traveling along with taking tiles and you see a person traveling, towards maybe some food tiles, 130 tiles, or they're traveling towards a 200 tile, and you can see they're like pathing. They're AFK now, and they've pathed like 10 tiles, and you can see what they're doing. And you send someone to take the tile in front and then take the 200 tile when they obviously were pathing for like 30, 40 minutes with their character. That's not very cool. So again, yeah, you can do it to your friends, and you're only be able to do it to your faction and fellowship friends, right? Which is your team. You probably don't want to do that. Ask them. If you really want that tile, or you're planning on going for that tile, and you're really near it, you could be like, "Hey, are you going for that tile?" Like, also, by the way, now Uncanny FGs are they add points 200 to everyone in your group. That's what they don't do. Yeah, so they add it to your whole fellowship now. So whoever takes it, doesn't matter who, it gives it to the whole thing. I messed that up the other day because someone was taking it and I was like, oh, I really wanted to take that. And then I was like, oh, it doesn't give it to everyone anymore. We both started laughing. But anyway, that's another courtesy thing. Just ask people if you see them pathing. And then another one, don't take tiles that are right next to someone's base. All right, I mean like touching their base, okay? Now, don't get mad at this person right here. Banana Lord did nothing wrong. He already had this. I moved next to this spot. Just let's get that out there right now. No one here did anything wrong. I'm talking about in the past. If someone moves their base right next to a 260 or a 300 tile, because you obviously know they're probably moving there because they want to use it as a mind sharpening tile or mock battles, don't just go take it if it's touching their base. At least ask. Be like, are you going to use that tile or can I take it? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Because I can't tell you how frustrating that is, especially as someone like, most people have the courtesy too. If you really want to get a tile, build a fort next to it and say, if it's a 300, say 300. And then most people go, oh, he wants to take that first 300 tile, right? He pathed there. He wants to take it. Those are just little courtesy things that I think, but especially early in the game, when everyone just spawned in and you're all farming tiles, if someone has tiles like touching their base, like a 200 tile and, maybe a 250 tile, a 260 tile, there's no 250s, and 130 tile and a food one. I mean, like, within reason, like maybe like 2 or 3 from their base. I've taken tiles close to people's bases before, yes, but within reason, probably ask them be like, can I take this tile? You know, that kind of thing. Or, you know, just don't take those tiles if they're touching their base. Because I've spawned in where I literally had like a 230 tile touching my base, and I was so excited to like have a 230 right next to base at the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to be able to mock battle. This is many seasons ago. And some whale guy, crazy as my teammates, I wasn't that mad at him, just comes in and be like, boop, takes the tile like on the second day. I mean, I need like another 2 days to take the tile. And I'm just like, it's like, because you're so excited. And then, of course, every other tile around you is now taken too because of those people, right? Big tile. So I think that if it's close to someone's base, don't take it early on in the game. If they've dropped tiles because they're a lot bigger around their base and you came in later, then feel free to take lower, 60, 90 tiles. If they're like, you obviously see they left a bunch of 90 tiles open because they're probably taking tiles that are higher somewhere else. Those are kind of things to think about, right? As a courtesy thing in RiseToWar. And then, don't take a 300 tile that has a fort next to it calling for that 300 tile. Someone already took the time to build a fort next to a 300 tile. You should just give it to them. If you go and snag it from them, that's not cool. That's another courtesy thing. Just don't do that. Oh, and then this is a big one. This goes to like, this is for like entire fellowships and kingdoms and factions. Don't take someone's capital unless you have to. Okay? So here's what I mean by that. All right. So there is a thing that you have to do where like this game is Building Glory. You have to hold a certain amount of places. But where is the, is it this one? One of these, this one. Any faction occupies 3 other faction capitals. One person is going to have to do this, okay? So what happens a lot of times is, that I think is cool, is you take a capital of someone who really doesn't have any players in it, and whoever is a big person takes 2 of the smaller ones. And then if there's enough people in that faction, just once you get that achievement done for the whole server, then you let those people take their capital back. You can even tell them ahead. You know what I mean? We're like, we're just going to take the capital just to finish that, and then you're welcome to take it right back. So you can still get your rewards, right? But realistically, if you're just going and taking every capital because you're a monstrous fellowship and you're just like, just like taking everyone's, that is really not cool. All right. It's frowned upon by like a majority of the players in this game, because it's like, why? If you're not earning any points, why are you making it unfun where they can't even have one little spot to have a couple tiles and get some points for playing the game, right? Because you take away their capital, usually they lose a lot more points. So that's another one. Be courteous. We like 5-6 seasons ago, I think I told you the story. We had one faction that just took a ton of capitals and just went and took our capital mainly because they were mad at 3 people, not in our fellowship, that were in our faction, right? So our fellowship's like 100 people. The faction can have several fellowships though, but there were like 3 people in our faction that they were upset about, mad at from the previous season. So they literally punished like hundreds of players by steamrolling our entire faction and taking the capital just to punish 3 people. And like hundreds of people lost their rewards because of that. That fellowship will forever be marked as terrible for me. Their group was called Nasty, and I talked to them over and over to see if they were being kind about things, and they deliberately said mean things back. So their fellowship name was very accurate. They were very nasty people. I don't usually say that about people, and you know me as Zollin Ironshield. I'm a very positive and nice, and most people who meet me here in any gaming realm realize I'm pretty fair-minded and I have a lot of fun with everybody. So even my opponents. So that was everyone on that server was mad at them though. So it was not good. But they know in their hearts. But anyway, those are just a bunch of things that I think are courtesy things that are really good for RiseToWar players to remember. Cool? Again, hopefully that was from a more positive perspective still. Have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. Baru Kazan Kuzare menu. Thank you for my wonderful Patreon support. Subscribe button's there. Leave a comment. What's been your most troll thing that's happened to you in RiseToWar? And also, what's your favorite? Give me a positive and a negative there. Okay, in the comments. Let's balance it with a positive too. What's your favorite thing that's happened in RiseToWar if you play? Next video's up there, and over there is a LOTR Tale where you do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. And again, I know RiseToWar is a niche game, right? But every game is technically a niche game, right? Like, that's just how games are. But again, hopefully you still enjoy my commentary sometimes. See you in the next one, my wonderful subscribers.